Hello everyone. So my name is Tejaswini Chile. I am from Chatwoot. I joined Chatwoot a year back, almost a year back. So while joining any company, you have these questions, right? Like if we are going to, or if we are going to able to handle the questions or to handle the architecture, but that was not the case. While joining this company, I knew the founders from my previous company. There was no questions in architectures. There was no questions in culture fit. But the main issue that I faced was the community, because I never worked in the open source project before. So this was my first experience, and what I faced throughout this journey, I'm just going to present that. So before we move forward, what is the community? It's not a group chat, of course. So if you don't want to burn out in this open source projects because your team members or just the maintainers is not your colleagues, you get the questions from all over the users all over the world. So if you don't want to burn out into that, so you need to retain those people who are enthusiastic about your product, who are using your product, who have questions about your product. You need to educate them before, so that they would educate others. So you need to help them to help others. So that's how you grow your community. That's how you uh, move your job. You delegate your job to the community members to handle all the questions. So help others to help you. So things you should know before joining the open source project or the company, that be thankful for all the community members. They are not your free software users. They are enthusiastic about your product. They went through all the product list, all the GitHub profiles to reach out to your repo. They are using it. They are contributing to your products. Although the helps comes, the support comes with the limitations too, that we are going to see, that if someone is contributing or someone is using your application for self-hosting, they are going to tell you about the new features, they are going to contribute to your product, but it has some downsides too. So as Kailash mentioned in his talk, that patience is the key when you are contributing to the open source. So unlike Rudra, I was losing it in between while working in this project. Improve your writing skills, because you cannot just reply that they are your colleagues or friends. They are they are the contributors or the members that you don't know. So it should be as formal as, and it shouldn't feel like you're writing rude because they are using your product for free. So improve your writing skills, and uh, patience is the key, as Kailash mentioned. So virtue of open source, we got lot of contributions to our project. You can see that, you can go and check our GitHub repo. We have a lot of stars and all. We got lot of features. The whole features contributed to our repo. We got voice chat. We got Telegram voice attachments from the contributors. So you get lot of feedbacks on your feature. uh, like whenever you deploy your code, you get early feedback. You get early feedback on UX, that this is, I'm not able to find this feature anywhere. You get feedback on the documentation, even if it is mentioned there. Maybe the documentation is not visible enough, or not maintained, or not wrote in kind of way that it is easy to understand. You get ad hoc development from all over, from the contributors from all over the world. We have diverse community, and people reach out with the solutions when you don't have the bandwidth to handle those. So one of our customers, like they want to have voice attachments, so they came up with the solution. I mean, we improved that PR, we improved that through our test cases and all, but he came up with the solution. So that's the plus point too, that if he want that the user wanted to have that feature in our app, but we didn't have bandwidth. So people come up with the solution. That's the beauty of open source. And then you get feedbacks from the potential customers if they want to use your product. So they will tell you that what is missing and what is stopping them from using your open source product. Even if it is free, why can't they use it? So you get that feedback from your potential customers, and if you tackle that, then yeah, they will be your next customers. When I joined Chatwoot, there was one feature PR was open for automations, that one of the potential customers wanted to use our product because of the pandemic. He wanted to cut down his uh, expenses on customer support tool, but he couldn't use it because we didn't have automation tool, that if we get this request, we should have automated message, we should have automated email sent to agents. So then we built that, and then we got that customers. It's our one of the paid customers in Chatwoot. So yeah, that's the beauty. So this is the plus point of open source, but as I said, it comes with a little downside. So if you don't have patience, that I told before, so this is the type of community members that I have met while I was working in Chatwood. The first one is the curious one. It is type of people who wants to contribute to your project, but they don't know anything about development, or they are just newbie developer who wants to have some contribution to your repo or some contribution to open source. So they will ask questions that how does this work, and what is the next step if I want to set up on local. So you get those questions. So you have to handle those like you handle any intern your team. Then there is impatient one. So these might be the people who are using your product and they might have faced one bug. So the real client might be bugging them that why is it not fixed yet? So that's why they might be questioning you. So why impatient one? Because they will ask you on Discord, they will ask you on GitHub, they will ask you on your cloud support. So they will ask the same question everywhere. So you just need to put yourself in their shoes, that they might be suffering from the questions from their real client. So just reply to them, just tell them that we are handling it in one of the channel, and you can follow through the GitHub questions. And then there is one more, the skipper. So this might be the issue because they will skip some steps in the documentation. When I ask about our documentation to the developers who was developing since so many years, who are into Ruby on Rails development or React development, they understand the documentation. But who are new to this, they might skip some steps. So this might be the issue with your documentation. So go through that make it possible that these steps should be there, that this must be done before you go forward. So check that if your documentation is missing that point. And the critic one, so do not let them hamper your work. So this is the solution that we have came across while we are working and we are still figuring out. So do not let these questions, these people, these community members or contributors hamper your current work. So you have to do your feature development. Then have dedicated time. So we have decided that we would have 1 hour or 2 hour for the community questions or on the Discord. So we will answer those, and then we will have that in on snooze, that then new questions we will handle on the next day, even if it is not the urgent one. Assign a leader to your features, because if there are no leader, if there is no responsible maintainer for assigned to that issues, then it won't be solved. So it will be like if you have Instagram, Facebook channel integration, that would be handled by someone else in the team. There are UX question which would be handled by someone else in the team. So they are responsible maintainer in your team. So this would be easy, that the question won't get lost, that who this will fix the issue, that question won't get lost thinking that someone else would handle this question. So this might help you. Always check your language while you are replying on the questions. And do not entertain DMs. So what we do is we stopped having DMs, and we are now creating GitHub issues for every questions and let them know that we are tracking that questions in the GitHub. Uh, and uh, and the last part is never ever forget your contributors and community members. Uh, be thankful to them, and this is one of the key point for the open source, that community participation is one of the key to your open source project success. So always be thankful for the support. Thank you. Sorry I had to rush. We are still figuring out. There are a lot of questions. Yeah, any questions? That's good. Okay, thank you. Oh, sorry.
Just wanted to get some idea about the contribution input that you get. So can you tell a little bit about what is your general, say, volume of contributions from external contributors versus your internal people, and uh, what are some of the specific hooks that you have seen work in this?
So mainly the main features are handled by us, but if there are questions for a new integration that just one customer wanted, so they might come up with the solutions that they wanted to use the product. So this is the only that, like voice messages that I have told. So this was we didn't have bandwidth. So we created the ticket that we would have that in next release, but the developer came up with the solution and he contributed. So yet we had to write the test for it. So if there are small features, they contributed, but for big features like us, if we get it from our real customers, then yeah, we build it. So it's like 20% from external contributors.
20%. That's good.
Yeah.
Just one follow-up question on this. What is the general retention in terms of a contributor? For a particular contributor, how long do they keep contributing before they kind of churn out?
Like if they start with the one contribution, then they okay. So we have I think 10 to 20 people who contribute like in each release, and there are 5 people who are like they are there from the first release, so they are contributing it, they are using it. Might be that might be the case that they are still contributing, they are fixing the bugs, they are updating the locals. If we don't have languages, we didn't have all the language support, but we got it from the community. So now we have more languages support, so yeah, we are getting that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.